Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Summit EU coverage. We've got our third best of one today for the EU portion. We'll have two more best of ones coming up after this, but we just saw Virtus Pro get defeated handily by Team Dog. We saw some pretty epic axe play. That wasn't Dog, that was Team RX. What am I saying?
I think you mean they got dunked.
They got dunked by Team RX. Relax, you're getting dunked.
Relax, you're getting dunked.
Something like that.
It'll be fine. It'll be over soon.
Let the axe free farm. What's the worst that could happen? Coach
I
LD over here.
I like offhandedly said, I'm like, well, he will have a really fast blink, but it's not like he's a hard carry. It can't be that bad.
And
oh boy,
18 kills later.
I've never been happier to eat my own words, but Jesus, dude, that was brutal.
Yeah, it certainly was. So now we've got Virtus Pro up against NEXT.kz, aka Next League, whatever you want to call them, and well, I think Virtus Pro have their work cut out for him here.
Yeah. NEXT.kz have been
A little shaky. I haven't seen them.
This is a
recently,
team.
actually.
If you go back to the International 2 qualifiers, it was a different roster. They were one best of 3 away. I think it was a best of 3, maybe a best of 5. One series away from going to TI2.
Oh.
And they narrowly lost out to, I think it was MTW at the time, ended up falling short in the end. I think it was the grand finals, and, well, they've never quite been the same since. And, well, that being said, draft's underway. I guess we're getting from the producer.
The signal.
Oh, okay, press your button,
All right,
buddy.
go for it, man.
Do it.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can direct me sometimes, Roland. It's not a one-way street. It's okay, pal.
You guys can just start the draft, Like, we don't have to say the magic words. You can just press the button.
Whenever we're rambling too much, just take us on in, and we'll let
or just let us ramble. Just press the button.
Yeah, the Dota gods will point us in the right direction. So this was actually, who had first pick here, LD? We got into this draft a little bit later.
It was the VP side.
VP, okay. So it was a first pick Invoker. Next League grabbed themselves the Bat Rider and AA, and again with that first or second pick Nyx Assassin, but here it's actually against the Bat Rider, and we talked about how well the Spike Carapace works to find initiation on the Firefly Bat Rider, so not surprised to see that. And here we go with Virtus Pro, a third pick Shadow Shaman on the Dire side. That is a little bit scary. Cause for concern.
Yeah, Dire side Shadow Shaman. Man, my lisp is really kicking in now. Invoker with the Forge Spirits. No great medallion carriers, although they don't desperately need them, but you could still get one in theory on like the Nyx potentially after his Blink Dagger. Already very good at doing Roche. That is a given. NEXT.kz are pretty damn good at contesting it, all things considered. They have Arrow to snipe someone in the pit, Bat Rider to try and jump in and lasso someone out, and Ancient Apparition just to generally discourage everyone from sitting there. So yeah, on paper they're good at contesting Roche. In practice, it's Shadow Shaman on the Dire side. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And a third pick Mirana for Next League, just a pretty straightforward pick. Teams love themselves some Mirana, and there you go. There's the setup. It's a Bane Elemental, not the Shadow Demon that we've been seeing a little bit here and there, but we'll see that classic Bane Mirana. And Bane and Ancient Apparition are a pretty good support duo, though Virtus Pro may want to consider a Rubik fourth pick here, as Fiend's Gripped is probably the easiest ability to steal, assuming you're not the one getting gripped.
One of my favorite bug fixes on a slightly unrelated note in 6.81 is the fact that you can no longer steal Nightmare's End. If you steal Nightmare's End, you get Nightmare. So there's no more stealing Nightmare's End.
That's nice.
Which was like one of the dumbest spell steals in the game. So I am happy about that bug fix amongst many others. It's not the sexiest patch in a lot of ways, but I think 6.81 is going to be fun just because there's a lot of dumb shit.
When is spring cleaning ever sexy? You know, I've never gone through that. All right, we cleaned the house, got rid of the dust bunnies. Boy, am I feeling sexy right now.
Well, when you're no longer living in filth, that's when it's sexy.
Yeah, I guess the first time you bring over a date and they're like, oh, there isn't a dirty clothes all over the place. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's good.
I was about to just make a total digression. I watch regular show occasionally when I'm falling asleep. And great Cartoon Network cartoon, and there's an episode where Rigby just doesn't want to clean up his trash, and well, now I'm digressing. He needed the spring clean, he didn't, and suddenly there was like a gigantic monster eating his house.
So the takeaway for all of the kids at home
clean your houses.
is make sure you do your spring cleaning, as
yes,
it is springtime. So
that was my very apt and well constructed point.
Well done.
10 seconds remaining.
So Virtus Pro, they're really taking their time with this fourth pick. They will burn all of their bonus time. They've got 5 seconds left, and they eventually settle on the Shadow Demon. An interesting choice here.
My lisp is contagious, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Good against Bat Rider. If you can disrupt the target that gets lassoed, it does make Bat Rider's life a little more difficult. And pretty good against Bane as well. If you can disrupt the target that's getting Fiend's Grip, it helps keep them alive. So I think more for the defensive properties than the offensive setup. But
yeah, they don't have too much synergy with Shadow Demon otherwise. I guess they can set up Sunstrike. That's the main thing.
About it.
Already have their offlaner in the Nyx, who generally doesn't need too much setup, and I wonder what they're going to run as a carry here. Luna's probably your natural choice, but that just got banned. Outside of that, I don't see any hugely obvious partners for Shadow Demon. So, well, other heroes out there, Rubik, I think, would have been a better choice, unless they have something in mind for the carry that's not, running through my brain right now. Or maybe even something like Disruptor, just to deal with the Batrider initiation. But TA's the choice, so...
Okay. TA should fare pretty well against the Invoker in the mid lane. Maybe Virtus Pro will do something cheeky here and not put the Invoker mid. This is just sort of an odd draft from Virtus Pro. Maybe this last pick will shed some light on what their strategy is, but it seems to be a little all over the place right now. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and right now pretty light on carry power. So that will kind of pigeonhole this last pick a little bit. And, okay, Faceless Void.
They just don't have much setup, well, like follow-up for the Chronosphere. When we've seen teams pick Faceless Void in the past, it's with things like Invoker is good. You have a lot of AoE from him.
Get your meatballs.
Yeah, you'll get like an Ancient Apparition. Maybe you get a Twin-Headed Dragon, looking at like a more old-school carry.
Right. Like
or a support hero that used to be very popular. Disruptor is not too bad. Gyrocopter goes pretty well with it.
Lich is another support if you really want to get
basically like
crazy.
AoE King supports and semi-cores, but running even a Queen of Pain can be pretty good. But
yeah, Death Prophet can be okay as well.
They just didn't draft much that goes with the Chronosphere. So we can reserve judgment, see how it goes, but
and wow, they're gonna aggro try with this Void as well. This is a really odd tri lane. I would not have predicted this.
This is very weird. Shadow Shaman's very weak, and they may be looking to dodge a tri lane from NEXT.kz more than anything, because they don't want to be fighting Bane, Ancient Apparition, +1. Their tri lane is incredibly weak, so VP probably just trying to dodge here, anticipating NEXT.kz going aggressive.
Yeah.
And, in fact, it looks like they might be. Smoked up as 5, heading into the woods.
And not only do NEXT.kz have a great setup for this arrow, and actually Mirana's smoke will get revealed here as they poke up. JOTM wanders over, looking for the opening, but they won't find it. But not only do they have great kill potential with the Bane Mirana setup, but they've got 3 ranged heroes, and that is good news for Chilling Touch. So this is a potent tri-lane across the board, whether they're stunning, whether they're just auto-attacking. Maybe you're right. They just don't want to face this tri-lane.
Looks like they're going to put the Nyx against it, which is, if it is a tri-lane, is probably ideal, because he's their best hero to sacrifice, their most durable hero. Void's somewhat durable, but Void needs the farm. Nyx can get away with a slightly weaker laning stage, so... The main concern for me is just, you've picked a Shadow Shaman, very level-dependent support. You want his level 6 quickly, and going back for a Void as the final pick just means you can't really secure his farm that well, or the levels for the Shadow Shaman. But it looks like the dodge may pay off here, and hell, maybe they'll get a first blood with this Invis Rune. Bat starting with boots. They would need some good bash luck to get a kill, and well, he's already gone Time Walk, but they can at least harass him a lot with this.
Yeah, won't be easy setup, but there are the shackles, a couple of auto attacks, the Time Walk forward. Here's your disruption. They'll go for the surround, but of course he can just fly away, and probably the worst target for that setup they were going for there, because
if the Void had bash and they got a lucky bash, they maybe could have killed him, but that would be the only way, and he'd already skilled Time Walk.
1 in 10 LD. I don't know. That's the odds are not forever in Void's favor with that level 1 Time Lock.
That's why they have the word Bash Lord. It was made for players who can be the 1 in 10.
Yeah. Yeah. So our Radiant side have actually won the ward battle out of the gate. There was an observer for the Dire side down right here, and it was countered. And they'll put down a lane ward of their own for the TA in the mid, and then they also get a ward down here up top, right outside of the pole camp. It doesn't block the camp, but it does give them some nice intel for when those supports move over towards that way. So
sure they're running this aggressive tri-lane. They dodge. I mean, I guess they dodge NEXT.kz fighting them 3v3, although now we see the Bane rotating. But ultimately, what are they gaining out of the tri-lane? Void is farming, yes, but NS not getting his levels, Jotum not really putting any pressure on the enemy team as the Shadow Demon. Are they winning their other lanes? G's doing pretty decently mid. top lane ars-art doing okay in terms of his levels, but you'd rather have a Nyx who's a bit behind than just have a Shadow Shaman getting nothing out of the laning stage. So that's my biggest concern is his levels. Maybe they catch him up later, but for now, well, he's not having a very good time.
And Hastrun picked up here at the 2-minute mark from the bottom position by the Ancient Apparition. And who is this Pranks and Jokes character? Is this a player I should know?
This is Reeves.
That's Reeves. Okay, what a silly name he's got. He'll go in onto God, but
there's no invoke here, no Sunstrike.
Yeah, he gets cold snapped, and well, he'll just back out. So, yeah,
a cat, a feline.
Yeah, cat's licking my foot. I was just like, LD, what are you doing? Oh, it's a cat. Okay.
Jesus, dude. Mid lane, they might go in on G. They could be a first blood potentially. 1-2 more right clicks.
There you go.
Kill secured.
Templar Assassin grabs that bonus gold. So nice setup for NEXT.kz. And I was just talking about how it looks like Invoker's doing pretty well in the mid lane. Exort Invoker does okay against TA because he had the extra auto attacks from the Forged Spirits, but now Invoker falls a little bit behind, and TA gets a few seconds to farm and some bonus gold.
It's generally a matchup that Invoker will do better in for like the first 3 to 5 levels, or at least he'll trade evenly, but you go beyond that, and then he really starts to struggle. Once you get level 3 Refraction, you hit incredibly hard, and you've got a decent amount of durability. So, well, not a good start giving up that first blood. I'm curious to see what Equal's skill build will be. He started with an early magic stick, and, well, are they going in bottom lane? They do have a sleep available, harassing the Void out a bit, but not really able to kill him here.
Yeah,
it's just very weird that they're not laning the Mirana with the Bane. Like, that is their strongest killing combo, and just leaving Mirana top, I'm surprised they have not switched the Nyx over here, or the Bat over there, to be totally honest. I feel like you just put Stallcat top, you run the Mirana bottom, and you go for some kills. Although, now they've rotated the Void.
There's that bash, 1 in 10. Gets it onto Mantis, but unfortunately, there's no follow-up inbound. So now a full lane rotation from Virtus Pro, though. Void is in the top lane. Mirana is still farming. We'll see the Ancient Apparition actually rotate up. So maybe NEXT.kz's patience will pay off, and it'll be VP who rotate the lanes the way that they were looking for. Stallcat will stay down bottom, and Bane is hiding near the trees here. Do I dare ask who ASD is?
I can look into it.
Some detective work there.
Meanwhile, mid lane Equal should be okay. Yeah, doesn't look like we'll have any action.
JOTM just rotating on through, headed up towards that top lane. And Lucky,
I believe that's a stand-in.
Lucky, yeah, stand-in Lucky. I've seen him before. I think he's stood in for NEXT.kz in the past.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if he's on their active roster, to be honest, but either way, 3 heroes coming mid. They want to set up a kill here on G. G hiding out under the tower. They do have an arrow for Mantis. They'll need to hit it, though, to get this kill. In fact, it's 4 heroes, man. They are committing a lot to killing G.
Yeah, they want this Invoker, and they'll find him. Arrow connects. Easy dive. Mantis will grab that last hit. And actually, was that a TP that came in and got canceled as well? A little extra pick-me-up there for
Yeah, it was the, I think it was the Shadow Demon. Jotum, now a TP in the stash on cooldown, so.
Okay.
Yeah. He just dropped it at the base. They did buy a TP for the Invoker, who is not having a good time. He'll pick it up. He'll TP back mid. But now they go top. And this is, like, ultimately, this is the tri-lane I thought they'd be running, which is the Bane, Mirana combination, and with Ancient Apparition right clicks. This is so many easy kills. You just give them the right click. The Chilling Touch's not even needed yet. One already dead. And this is probably going to follow. And NEXT.kz are just cleaning up.
Yeah, they'll just click him down. Mantis will actually fall. Double kill comes out for Bane. Now Illidan trying to pursue onto Lucky. Sunstrike comes in, but it's off the mark. And Illidan will be forced back.
It's just like, what is the... Oh.
Or maybe not. He hops forward.
This is very ballsy from Illidan. And he gets the bash, then he backs off. Oh, poor guy.
Oh. He gets the kill on Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, the creep gets the last hit there, I believe.
Yeah, certainly did. And even with the cold feed, if AA could have survived and lost aggro, maybe they could have started to turn that around, but...
That's just really weird. Like, he's like, oh, I'll go for one more right click, and then right when he's like, all right, it's not happening, then he gets the bash. Yeah. Then it's like, oh, shit, I'm not going to get the kill, but the creep bails him out, so... Yep. Works out pretty well for Illidan in the end. This is just such an awkward laning stage for VP. Like, they picked the Shadow Demon... And they already had an Invoker, and you're thinking, all right, maybe they'll get some sort of follow-up stun like a Lina that will go well with that, but well, they already had the Shadow Shaman as a support, they already had the Nyx, and then they went into a Void, and Void, Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon is just not a strong tri-lane.
Well, up top, Chronosphere used on Mantis, Sunstrike on the mark, but he might be able to get away. Time walk forward. He does have a little bit of poison on him. Arrow will actually connect on JOTM. He's taking tower shots as well. He'll turn it around, and Mantis makes it a 1-0 the other way.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, no aggression. Yeah, that is
bloody disaster for VP.
Bloody disaster is the exact right way to put it. That was a total train wreck for VP.
Ooh.
They just, like, you get, this is where they don't have much fun.
Well, ars-art will grab a kill there, pretty easy, on to Stallcat.
It's like munched him with the claws.
Yeah, he just gave him the old pincer there. The old lobster 1-2.
It's just such an, it's just an awkward draft from VP. And they tried to lane it unusually, I think, just to dodge what they thought would be a straight aggressive trying from NEXT.kz, but the Void pick just didn't make that much sense. If they had picked a more combination, like, to go with them, maybe, like, even Mirana would have been potentially good for their lineup. Easy arrow setup. There's tons of AoE heroes. Kunkka is fantastic to go with it. But, well, they've made their bed now. Let's see if they can sleep in it.
Yeah, and these supports are just so underleveled on Virtus Pro. Shadow Demon is level 2. He's just about to hit level 3 as he leeches some experience, but he is really far behind. Rasta level 4, he's a little bit better off. Illidan will get put inside the Nightmare. Arrow flies in.
He backtracked the arrow. That's pretty big.
There's the defensive disruption, but Illidan will still take pretty hefty damage here. Does not have an ultimate, however, does have the time walk to make the escape. NS cruising his way on in, does have a haste rune. There's the shackles on Bane, Sunstrike on the money. And God will be rewarded with a little bit of money falling into his pocket. Mantis gets turned into a little chicken there.
Yay!
And Starstorm enough to finish off the Shadow Demon. And now Illidan, no time walk available. Big backtracks coming, but he's stuck in the trees. Pray to the HY gods. Won't be enough. He'll fall. Double kill coming out for Mantis. And another disaster here in the top lane. Void has no farming tools. Brown boots straight into Morbid Mask. No Battle Fury, no Handamitis, and he is already kind of falling behind in terms of farm.
Yeah, he looks like he's going for an early Mask of Madness, but it's a bit unusual not to get at least Treads first. Treads are a great value item on Void, give you some much-needed stats, give you still tons of attack speed to work with for the cost, and, well, I guess it's a Mask of Madness rush. Just getting a casual Morbid Mask on Void is very awkward. He doesn't actually hit that hard.
Yeah.
Better than normal base damage, but, well, we'll see Moonlight Shadow. Mantis trying to snipe the tower, still denied by Illidan. Nicely played. Yeah, I would have liked to see Treads. Oh, there's a Vendetta bottom. ars-art has been spotted, though, by Radiant Ward. Won't be able to go in.
And Moonlight Shadow wears off, but, yeah, AA's positioning just a little too good. And with that, Reeves will hit level 6, and that means Ice Blast is online. And he did go 3 points, Chilling Touch.
Bottom
Nyx
lane.
Assassin, he'll dive the tower. He connects with the Vendetta, but the Impale off the mark, and now Ice Blast will fly, and that'll be off the mark as well. God, whiffs all over the place, but now ars-art, he doesn't really have an escape plan here. He has the TP scroll. Nightmare, okay, he had an escape plan. Never mind, he just TP'd out in the middle of the lane. I thought Bane would be able to get off the Nightmare, but
this is a game of fails.
Yeah, lucky, not so lucky with his positioning.
So many just unfortunate miscues on the ganks and spells slightly off the mark.
Yeah.
I think they all need a little sleep and a little coffee.
A little bit of coffee, yeah. TA, though, the leader in terms of net worth, leader not on CS, but farming just so well. 1-0-2, 51-22. And that does put NEXT.kz about 3,500 gold and experience ahead here at only the 10-minute mark.
Ancient Apparition ult is flying in top. They do have the Bat Blink online, and here comes Stallcat.
Uh-oh.
Although the ult is way off the mark.
Yeah, still Illidan, the arrow will be off
creep.
the mark. It hits the creep there, so
that,
still not the best
another
coordination.
poorly executed gank, and then the Nyx Assassin finds the Ancient Apparition bottom. Probably was busy admiring his handiwork top when that happened. Just gets caught out by ars-art in the jungle right about here.
Yeah. So
straight Mask of Madness though. This is a very unusual build.
Yeah, very risky for Void as well. It's Rasta, not quite level 6. They could probably take out this tower, but he's only level 5, so they'll just have to chip away at it. Meanwhile, up top, Chronosphere dropped on the Mirana.
Illidan, Sunstrike, here
doing
it
as
comes.
much damage as he can. Sunstrike on the money, but just not enough damage. Shadow Poison won't be enough to tick him down. Yeah, disruption out on Stallcat. And he still wants to pursue. He says he's got Mask of Madness on. Let's do this. But nope, Illidan will make it back to safety. Meanwhile, in the mid, Equal just takes out a tower, and there is nothing the Invoker can do to stop him.
Level 3 Shadow Demon. He's even taken the 2 points in Soul Catcher, but he just doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Disrupt, Soul Catcher, the Sunstrike was there, and it just wasn't enough.
Not enough deeps.
Yeah, the key thing right now for Virtus Pro is to get level 6 on the Shadow Shaman, and try and sneak a Roshan to me. Like, that's their... Maybe they use the Chronosphere to set up an initiation, but beyond that, pretty much their best way to get a foot into this game. Right now, they're down 5k gold, 3k experience, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Bane just hit level 6. He has his ultimate. Mirana's got core items that she needs to move around the map. Everybody's ready to fight on NEXT.kz, and right now you've got a Shadow Shaman and a Shadow Demon who do very little in the engagements, and Void who has lockdown but no damage. So, yeah, they need to be just being creative with their abilities. They're not going to be taking head-on fights.
Yeah, and it appears that Invoker is in it for the long haul. I think he'll go Hand of Midas, which is pretty standard on Exort Invoker, but we're 12 minutes in, and actually, what's on the courier? Is that his recipe?
Coming.
Yep, there it is. So, 12.5-minute Midas, still worth picking up for the Invoker, but still, that just extends this window where NEXT.kz have a pretty big advantage, and Virtus.pro are still trying to find their initial bits of farm.
The 2 deaths really hurt him.
Yeah.
Up against a TA, that's already a difficult matchup. Dying means that she's going to have more levels, means that she's going to last hit better and deny you farm, and of course you lose the gold as well. So, bottom lane, Mantis gets caught out. Here comes the Sunstrike.
And that'll be more than enough damage. Shadow Shaman gets the last hit with the other shock, but Nyx Assassin gets caught up in the Fiend's grip, and Bane will secure that kill. They make it a 1-for-1.
Batrider's coming in. He's got a lasso.
Exchange, but NS. Yeah, there's no way that Shadow Shaman's surviving. And finally hits level 6. He's got his Frost Awards, but gets killed right away and won't be able to use them to much avail. That'll be the end of this bottom tier 1 tower, and that will take the total tower count now 3-0 in favor of NEXT.kz. So that furthers their gold lead by another nice little boost there, over 5,000. But Virtus.pro did find a little chunk of experience grabbing those kills. TA, Blink Dagger up, and just look at that net worth, almost about to, or just about to break 7,000. And the leading farmer on Virtus.pro Invoker only at 4.5k.
You know, the one synergy that VP have, which I didn't really think about until now, and is actually that the Rost Awards are not stopped by Chronosphere. So, if you drop them in the Chronosphere, and you hit a Sunstrike, and the Nyx hits like a 2-3 hero Impale, you follow up with an Ether Shock, that might be enough damage to net them a few kills, but it requires a really good Chronosphere as the key thing. And NEXT.kz are quite a mobile draft. You've got Mirana, Batrider, both very mobile. TA, who already has a Blink, she's also mobile. So that's 3 heroes that are already hard to catch.
Not only does she have a Blink, but another 1,600 gold already to play around with. So if she wants a Desolator, won't be too far off the mark. And same story for a BKB. Whatever she wants next, it'll be coming before too long. Here's a Moonlight Shadow from NEXT.kz. They want to be aggressive, but I don't know that they'll find any kills with this ultimate. Virtus.pro just grouped up about the top lane and a little bit too defensive. I think they scouted it out. I'm not sure where they saw it from. But
I think it was this Observer ward, saw the Mirana walking by.
Yeah, so they will take a defensive posture, and it will keep them safe throughout the Moonlight Shadow. Meanwhile, up top, they say, hey, Mantis, nice Moonlight Shadow. Check it out from the grave, bro. They'll finish him off. Void gets that kill. Sunstrike on the money once again. And that makes it 7-9. Virtus.pro with a sign of life here as they put more kills up on the board.
Yeah, that's perfect for them. Use the Chrono to secure kills, and now drop the wards to take a tower. That is the best they could hope for out of their abilities. Going for a big 5-man combo, very risky, unlikely.
Is Shadow Demon going to shatter here? No, he won't go low enough. Look how much damage that did alone. Batrider hops forward, grabs NS. JOTM just gets the hell out of there as he TPs home. They finish off the kill on the Shadow Shaman. Ward's going to work on the tower. It will move into deny range.
In the enemy jungle, caught out.
Oh, yeah. Sunstrike.
I don't know how he was like off here warding and then somehow just ended up like wandering through the enemy woods. Forge Spirits were there. Nyx was there. That's like if you get lost in the Amazon jungle and the boa constrict. Well, whatever awful snakes and predators are lurking there.
I think they have boas in the Amazon.
Do they? Okay.
Probably.
I'm not that knowledgeable on my snakes, so I was like, yeah, I'm probably saying something really dumb right now, so I'll make it more general. So I can't fuck that one up.
Yeah, good call, good call. But they secured the deny on the tower, and they do get the Shadow Shaman as he tries to retreat. Unfortunately, it's a support for support trade, but the deny is pretty solid. At least they stopped Void from getting the last hit on the tower, which is kind of the priority for Virtus.pro in that scenario. Void now with Gloves of Haste after the power treads. I don't think it'll be a Midas. I have a feeling this will just turn into a Maelstrom. But you never know.
Yeah.
Could be a recovery Midas. It's possible.
Maelstrom's quite good, though.
Yeah.
Really Maelstrom, Mask of Madness, very glass cannon build, but insane. Like, probably the most cost-effective DPS.
Yeah.
Like, Battle Fury gives you... Oh, nice leap away by Mantis.
I think that Impale would have been off the mark anyhow, actually, but won't be enough to keep him alive as the Sunstrike connects and the Hex helps secure the kill. Ice Blast flies in, but just clips the Nyx Assassin. Invoker gets another one, and G all of a sudden on a killing spree. He's 3-2-2, finding a lot of recovery after that rough start in the mid lane. And Virtus.pro just want to knock towers down. They
Here
will
comes the
group up
Nyx.
about the bottom.
Once again, they're ready this time with the Sentry.
Bean's grip, easy kill. Bane gets credit for the last hit. Chronosphere comes out. They will focus the Bane, but he's already burned his ultimate, so maybe not the best target. Rasta wards come down in an awkward spot. Won't be able to pressure the tower after this fight. Bat Rider with the ultimate on the G. Now TA taking pretty hefty damage as well. Takes a meteor to the face. Disruption out onto Stallcat, right on top of the wards. But now Equal, he's back. They'll finish off the Forged Spirits. Bat Rider gets picked off. Ancient Apparition falls.
This TA might clean up. She's got Refraction online. Meld as well. She can start hunting some heroes down. We'll kill off NS. No, get shackled.
The shackles. They they finish her off.
Yeah,
that's a 5 for 2.
She needed to just hit a full meld strike in the face on the Shadow Shaman and wasn't able to do it.
Wow, that could have been a lot different if she
NEXT.kz need to be initiating. They have Bane, Mirana with Moonlight Shadow, as well as a Bat Rider. They caught the Nyx here, but already they had been down a hero before that even happened. So if they let VP jump them, then the Void's always going to have a +1 there. He'll have someone to impale or shackle, and then just pops Mask of Madness and permabashes you. He, on the other hand, if you're the ones initiating, can easily be dealt with. He's still very squishy, but if they keep on getting picked off like this, they're going to be in trouble. There's a sleep. Arrow's coming.
And Arrow will be on the money. It's a close call. Now, will they have the damage to finish him off? Yep, more than enough.
Will they ever?
Only 1 point in backtrack, so 10% won't be 1 in 10 that time.
Yeah, this is Void's one of those heroes where there's quite a few different ways to just build him. This Void's been built much more as a damage dealer, but we saw when Bernie was playing Faceless Void, I want to say they had, for DK, I want to say they had like Centaur, Ancient Apparition, Invoker, one other big damage dealing support, and he just went pure tank. He maxed backtrack first, maxed the Time Walk, and was basically an initiator and a frontline sponge for damage. But this is like your kind of classic pub glass cannon Void, not in the bad sense. Pub just like the more standard way that people play it in pubs, but
right.
Obviously if you get caught, you're food. So
yeah,
it's just an interesting hero because there's some heroes where there's like one right way to build them, but
yeah,
Void very, very versatile in terms of how you skill him.
Yeah, very true. Now NEXT.kz will make a 5-man rotation in this bottom tier 2 tower. Nyx Assassin is around the backside, and yep, there's that sentry ward. He'll walk right into it. And he may get caught once again. There you go. But, lol, they'll be off the money. And now they'll chase down Nyx. They reveal the Vendetta, but there's another fight breaking out on the other side. Mantis caught inside the Chrono, and he will get finished off by an Invoker Sunstrike once again. The Nyx doesn't even go down. And now Rasta blows his wards, Hex, and Shackle onto Pranks and Jokes, a.k.a. Reeves. And they'll have more than enough to take him down. Void
a.k.a. dead.
Yeah, a.k.a. see ya.
And now Bat's been caught on a cliff here. He does have a blink available. He's going to go for the TP out there. Oh, now it's canceled. He can force Steph down to the low ground. Will he get it off in time? Barely Nyx. No blink. Sunstrike's cooling down. 1 second. Do they have vision? Oh, that was close.
It'll fall just a little bit short.
That was real close.
Yep. But now Virtus.pro, they move straight to the Roche Pit, and another very successful team fight. 2-for-0 exchange, and they defend their tier 2 tower. It does take about half damage.
This, you know you're casting Russian Dodo when this happens in the graph.
And the graph looks like a nice summit peak there.
Well,
yep.
How appropriate that they're paying homage to our event here in the summit.
Good guy, CIS Dota.
Yes. Well, now we need the turnaround the other way. Actually, it's quite a problem, though, for NEXT.kz, because VP's biggest weakness was their lanes. Just aggressive tri-lane Shadow Shaman Void. I mean, we saw it's not a very effective lane. TA also able to beat the Invoker mid. They shut down the Invoker early, got the kill. Bat had a pretty timely blink. They had a quick level 6 in Ancient Apparition, but that was really their time to shine. Not to say this lineup doesn't go late, but more to say that they should have just been able to snowball the game from there.
JOTM almost picked off by the TA. Long-range arrow. It's on the mark. That's a sniper rifle right there, LD. And Mantis, he gets some bro points for that one. Well done.
Bro points.
He gets some cool points, some Chuck E. Cheese tokens. I don't know. What do you want?
I just never heard it before. But yeah, that was. He's been playing a fantastic Mirana today.
Yeah, he has been picked off a few times, but when he's alive, he's been nailing those arrows, making Mirana proud. Does Mirana's mount have a name? I know Luna's is Nova, but I always wonder about Mirana's mount. Something.
The mount's called Perfect as Shit. There is an epic Yaffet's clip from the Perfect as Shit video where he has like a max range arrow for a hero that like he lost vision of like 10 seconds ago. So
that's funny.
There you go. Shout out to Yafits.
Yeah, equal on the TA is just going to go straight into BKB.
How old is that video? Perfect. Oh, Chrono mid.
Ooh, and it's going to be on Stall Cat. The Sunstrike again on the money, and Illidan will get that last hit. They will secure the tier 1 tower kill. Ice Blast flies in, will connect with a few, but at the end of the day, not that much of a tide turner.
Well, this game is really swung on its head, and
Invoker has a level 3 Necro book all of a sudden. I mean, talk about recovery farm. That Hand of Might is proving to be much worth it. He's now #1 on the net worth chart, 1,000 up over the TA.
Yeah, they not only got some, they got the Roshan, they got 3 towers as well as quite a few kills, 4, 3, and 6. He started the game with giving up a first blood, so yeah, it's been quite a turnaround.
He started out 0-2 actually. He died back-to-back times. They picked him off again right after. Right. So tower count is even though. It is all tied up, 3 apiece, and as luck be have it, the gold graph just about zeroed out as well. Void will get caught jungling in the ancient territory there as he gets hit by an ice blast, but no follow-up. It'll still be enough to scare him away as he gets scouted out, and he leaves the big dragon for another day.
Well, can NEXT.kz turn it around after this sloppy mid-game? They still have a great pickoff lineup. They have the Bat, they have the Bane, just really strong ganking heroes. I think they can, but they've got to be the ones finding the pickoffs, not the ones getting caught.
They walk right by the Invoker. That could have been pretty big if they picked off God there, but
would have been. He's got Aegis, and they maybe could have killed him twice. There were 3 VP heroes bottom, and Nyx off top, so it might have been a double kill.
I think there's a good chance it would have been. But now Virtus Pro, they will smoke up, and they'll move down towards the bottom lane. So the NEXT.kz smoke rendered unsuccessful. Nick's still up top. He has been deaded about. They will find a Mirana. There's the time walk forward. Chronosphere, this one is definitely off the mark, and NS just blinks into it. Arrow, this time it'll hit Illidan. The follow-up won't be here in time, but Fiend Script used on the Shadow Shaman. He did burn a smoke. There's the disruption, and Illidan just comes leaping forward. Mantis now, he's in some trouble. He'll leap away. Survives for now, but TA, meanwhile, in the top lane, finds a kill on the Nyx. So
yeah, Nyx ran into 3 heroes. He canceled. The Bat was trying to TP bottom to turn that fight around. His TP got canceled by an Impale, and I think the Invoker Sunstrike actually went to the top lane, not the bottom. Because I was looking for, like, is he going to Sunstrike this retreating Mirana, but had already used it elsewhere.
Blink Dagger on Invoker. What are your thoughts about the Blink Exort Invoker, LD? I saw this the other night, and I wasn't sure what to make of it.
It has some strong points. I guess the main ones are you can set up a really nice ice wall with it. You can also blink. Oh, hold that thought.
Yeah, ASD. See you, Lucky. They actually burned the Rost Awards for that. I think maybe a little bit of overkill.
Yeah, they should have saved those for the tower push. They had that kill anyway.
Yeah, now TA actually getting stalked by the invisible Faceless Void. He does not have a Chrono, though, so this won't be an easy fight. Ice Blast comes in. Will not connect with any heroes. And yeah, I think without the Rost Awards, they'll be forced back here.
And they're also feeding these Necro books away. That's 200 gold in the equals pocket. They do have to be careful about that. On the wards, it's just it's a feast for NEXT.kz.
Yeah, Mantis will be happy to clean this up. Lots of money going his way.
But yeah, Blink Dagger can be very strong. Also lets you set up solo kills potentially. If you have the Forge Spirits in position, jump in with like a Deafening Blast Meteor. It's just a good repositioning item for a hero that doesn't have much move speed.
And equal. He gets initiated upon once again, but he had Refraction on already. Void will still cut through it. Sunstrike, more than enough damage to bring him down. Equal buys back. He ports to this tier 2 tower. They want some counter kills. There's the blink forward from Bat Rider. Lasso onto Void. They should be able to drop him. Meanwhile, in the front lines, Equal with a BKB. No, he'll have to turn around to finish off Illidan. Now, focuses on JOTM. Few more auto attacks ought to do it. That Refraction getting knocked off. They'll find some recovery kills. Dead Shadow Shaman, and they're not done yet. Mantis, he does have an arrow. Leap coming up in 2. Never mind, he'll lose his mana. Now he'll actually fall. Or Mantis falls, pardon me. Equal hops forward. He finishes off the Shadow Shaman this time.
And now the Meld Strike looking for another kill. Picks up another. Equal is slept for the time being. 4 heroes dead. Looking for the last one. G, he's the target. And he's trying to juke. Finds the Bat Rider. Well, who's found who here? Ancient Apparition Oak flies out. Not going to connect. They're still hunting G. They pop the Aegis once. Can they kill him again? Sunstrike, I think, should be available soon. He'll blink to the north. Can they track him down? Equal. Blink Dagger being disabled by these Forge Spirits. G still on the run. Does have no Ghost Walk available for some time. They'll throw out a trap. Won't find him just yet. Blink to the left. And the other casualty of war there for VP was the gem. So Another big loss for them. Losing a gem against Marana is quite the giveaway.
Yeah, I was wondering how they detected that Ghost Walk, but Bane has a gem of his own, actually. And did they steal the Bane's gem and then just give it back to him? Because it's not labeled as anyone else's. What happened to the gem that they had?
I think that was the...
So Bane had a gem, they killed him and stole it, and now just gave it back to him?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
All right, that would make sense.
Yeah, they Bane bought a gem earlier. Even I was thinking, was like, well, this is weird because they've been finding the Nyx every time. But yeah, he did buy a gem earlier, lost it, and then got it back. Bottom lane.
Yep. AA, he'll find a free kill on the Ancient Apparition. It's actually God who gets the last hit with the Sunstrike. And I think that's even better than the Nyx getting it. Honestly, this Invoker's starting to get pretty fat. And when I was asking about the Blink Dagger, every time I see it on Invoker before Sheep, I just think, is that better than going for Scythe of Ice right away? But in this game, it's almost a moot point. He's more than halfway to the Scythe of Ice already. So
if it saves you once, it's
worth
it
it.
hasn't paid for itself, but it's been very effective already.
Yeah.
Save yourself 2 or 3 times, and it definitely has paid for itself.
I mean, it saved him there after the Aegis, so you can't complain too much.
That's the thing with Quastic Zord Invoker is he's very slow. So having the Blink Dagger gives you some ability to reposition yourself, and you can just jump in with like Blink, summon your Forward Spirits, Cold Snap, invoke a Sunstrike or something else, and solo kill certain heroes like the Bane, potentially the Ancient Apparition, especially with the Necrobook as well. When you drop the Forward Spirits and the Necrobook on top of someone, they die very quickly.
Yeah. Now, Illidan on this Faceless Void, going for just raw attack speed here, upgrading that Maelstrom into the Mjolnir, and he'll have, is the recipe actually on the way on the Courier? Yep, sure is. And that's actually a Dagon coming out onto ars-art. Very interesting.
Meanwhile, Smoke Gank from NEXT.kz, they're hunting for some heroes. They might find VP in the jungle. This could be trouble. Courier also might go down.
Oh, Void hops forward, Chronosphere popped. He does not have his Mjolnir yet. Bat Rider first to go down. JOTM, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, he's in more than a little bit of trouble. Ancient Apparition gets credit for that one, as Equal gets put inside of the disruption.
The Courier just flew right back over the Ancient Apparition, and he didn't even try to right-click it. He was just following heroes, not paying attention, and I think he would have killed it with that last auto attack. Yeah, he hits for 82. Actually, I don't know if it would have been enough with the 10 armor.
Would have been close.
Would have been close.
Does Chilling Touch work on the Courier? Does that do anything? Does it add any extra damage?
I actually don't know.
That's one of those
I'm guessing no.
small mechanics. I want to say no, or else that'd be pretty awesome, but Equal, he's in trouble, more than trouble. He'll take a spill in the bottom lane as Nyx Assassin was lingering nearby. Had the Dagon, and Illidan hops in to make it an easy kill, showing off that new Mjolnir. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Virtus Pro continuing the pushing power. Rasta wards come down, Mantis cleans up about half of them, but the level 3 Necrobook and Forge Spirits come out as well. And the tier 2 tower taking heavy damage. Meanwhile, fight breaking out behind the tower as the Bat blinks forward. Doesn't get off the lasso, though. Still secures the kill. Ancient Apparition will finish him off. Invoker gets credit for the tower kill. So at the end of the day, they trade their support Rasta for a tier 2 tower. I think they'll be okay with that.
This game is still overall favoring VP. They've pushed down almost all of the outer towers, just the tier 2 mid remaining, and that means the next Roshan, which has a respawn, is very easy for them to secure. Sure, Shadow Shaman dies. He bought his Force Staff, and they can walk into the pit. And with the wards, with the level 16 Faceless Void, this should be a pretty just basic Roshan attempt for them. G can join them as well. Hex coming soon. Yeah, this is trouble for NEXT.kz. The TA's been dying a lot. 6-3 and 7. Had a really good start. Has slowed down quite a bit. And Marana in particular, 6 deaths. Mantis has had some great arrows, but given VP's lineup, NEXT.kz need to be ahead of farm on these carries because VP just have the superior lockdown, the trump card, which is the Chronosphere.
Yeah, it's true. And I honestly don't really think it's Mantis' fault. He's played a pretty good Marana, but he's kind of just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Where Void wants to gank is where he's been malingering around. Virtus Pro in the Roche pit. They will take him down. NEXT.kz wanted to contest. They throw the arrow in. Does connect with God. He's the one that picked up the Aegis, but here's the Chronosphere from the Void. He'll go ham on that Ancient Apparition. They'll have plenty of damage to finish him off. BKB on the TA. Popped right in the middle of the party. Now turns to God, and that will proc the first Aegis. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin finishes off the Bane around the backside. Illidan trying to protect his good buddy Invoker and also chase down Equal. Mantis still on the backside of the fight, but NEXT.kz will just scatter, and they will cut their losses with just their 2 supports. And whoa, Mantis, he'll actually find the Shadow Demon
There's a gem on the ground. Can he pick it up?
He'll pick it up, but will
He's
it
going
cost
to get
him?
out, I think. It's their mana on Illidan. No, Illidan's out of mana, so
No time walk, no stick charges.
manages to bring down the Shadow Demon as well as the Shadow Shaman, and Manta's finally living through a fight. So TP's out. He'll save the gem. They are haunting him. Oh no!
Now he's in trouble. He has no escape plan for another 60 seconds. But
So
also,
drum charges, has Manta style. There's no Chronosphere right now. He might be able to make it out. Surprised he's not using the drum charges. Waits for the cold snap. Manta's out of it, and he'll keep on going.
yeah, he'll survive this. Just a little too speedy. That lack of mana on Illidan is just too much. Even if he toggled the boots, wouldn't be enough. Arrow flies in, but does not connect on the Void. Now he has a Mithril Hammer. I wonder, is he just going to go BKB or something?
Yeah, he needs a BKB. They have a lot of nuke damage. Up against Ancient Apparition, if you get hit by Ancient Apparition ult and you have Mask of Madness on, you're not life-stealing anyway, and now you're just taking a ton of magic damage and bonus damage as well.
Yeah. Yule's now up on the Bat Rider. Arrow flies over the Dire Ancients and hits one of the Forge Spirits. So Virtus Pro maybe a little bit lucky there, but will avoid a fight for now. VP still come out ahead after that Roche fight, though. Gold and Experience Graph continuing to jump in their favor. They did get the last hit on Roche, but the Aegis was burned in that last fight. So at least an okay hold from NEXT.kz. It was a 2-for-2 support for support, and then they burned the Aegis. So actually kind of into their favor, less that of the Roche Gold, of course.
VP really need a win here. They're already 0-2 through their first 2 games. You drop another game here, you're 0-3, and they still have to play the likes of Fnatic. I believe they played MYM yesterday, but there's still rox.kis waiting for them. Teams that I don't rate their chances against very highly. So, sure, they've had a nice start. Well, a slow start, but they've had a nice comeback, turned it around. But they do have to finish the job here. Can't afford to be going 0-3 through the first 3.
Yeah, and the tides really have turned, though. That net worth chart. Invoker #1 by about 5,000 gold. Void and TA are just about dead even. And now this Nyx Assassin is actually pretty close to the Mirana in terms of raw farm.
This combo is just so annoying to play against.
Yeah, speaking
Nyx
of
Invoker.
Nyx and Mirana, there's a double damage. And, oh, great leap from Mantis.
He has the gem, so he saw the Nyx.
Oh, yep, good call. That was some Sayori tunnel vision.
No, I was like, wow, he is really quick on the reactions.
Yeah, that was almost too quick. I
had the same thought, but yeah, he is carrying the gem.
Nice bait for him, though, not to attack him and just kind of play it cool, like, all right, Nyx Assassin. Could be around.
Yeah, he's just happy to live through a gank for once.
Yeah.
I would be too.
Desolator up on the TA and Scythe of Ice out on the Invoker.
They pop the Moonlight Shadow. They look for
items on both sides, but items aren't going to save ars-art. Lasso, arrow flies in from Mantis. That one won't connect. The Impale won't connect either. What is happening, LD? There must be something in the water or on the server because there have been so many missed skill shots like that.
Who said they're drinking water?
Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Isn't it like 10 a.m. on the in the EU? Oh, no, it's a little later than that now. It's almost 10 a.m. here in the... Jesus, I'm really... What time is it? Where are we? Okay, it's within drinking hour in the EU, so that's okay.
They have a Desolator on equal. This is going to allow them to take towers very quickly whenever VP makes slight mistakes. Nyx dying there. The death itself isn't the big deal. The tower loss is the problem. They still have a very strong high ground defense, though. I don't think NEXT.kz should be looking to break base yet. Maybe they try and force out a Nyx buyback. But this is going high ground against Void is very risky. Yeah. And he's just ready to go in.
And Nyx doesn't have the buyback either. Perhaps just looking to force out a glyph. They'll throw some Manta illusions into the tier 3. And, well, they get it down to about 2/3 HP. Not a bad little bit of pressure considering they didn't lose anything.
Yeah, I like that move from the NEXT.kz, though. They understand how good VP are at defending high ground. They wanted the Nyx to buy back, didn't get a buyback, and just said, screw this. Yeah. Void is BKB now, so when he jumps in, they have some ways to deal with him, like Grip and Lasso, but it's hard to even get him in time before he gets off Chrono. Even if you do, there's so much follow-up. Like, Shadow Shaman can blink in and Hex the Bane. Bane doesn't have BKB yet. Nyx can blink in and Impale, so... You might initially cancel the Void's jump, but you're not killing him before they counter-initiate on you. And yeah, I think it's smart just to back there.
Interestingly enough, NEXT.kz are carrying around 2 gems right now. One that was bought by the Bane, and Mirana is carrying around one that was bought by JOTM, the Shadow Demon on Virtus Pro. But it's more interesting that they're just carrying both of them around. I feel like that's double the chance of handing one back over to the likes of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, there's the Nyx, and I guess they want to be able to spread and farm.
Yeah.
So this way they've got multiple eyes working on them.
To be fair, it saved the Mirana once already, so I guess it's been worth it. Rolling the dice a little bit here and carrying around that extra gem.
Here comes the smoke. They will look for something bottom. It's only a Mirana illusion heading in the woods. Are they going to go on it? No, they know it's an illusion. But I don't think they'll find a kill in the end.
Smoke a deceit. But yeah, they won't find anyone. NEXT.kz just back up, and maybe it's game sense. Maybe they just wanted to make a rotation of their own. But
this is a really aggressive dive. Their smokes can wear off right under this observer. This could go very poorly. Not seen it. Do they keep on going? Uh-oh. NS is just moving in.
And here we go. Stallcat, he gets sheeped straight away. That's the initiation that...
Grip on Illidan right as he drops the Chronos for his BKB's being wasted. The Chronos being wasted. He trapped in ars-art here as well. And now he's just got to turn tail and run. Equal brings him down. The turnaround, the fail Chrono. Oh, it just wasn't a good opening. Such a risky jump for VP. And now they'll pay. They'll lose more. G's dead. It's 3, and it's a train wreck.
Wow, that's a 750 gold bounty going to the Mirana. And now ars-art, he's not out of the clear yet either. Sure, he's got a Vendetta, but Stallcat's got a lasso. He'll one-up him here. And just plenty of auto attacks to take him down. That's a 4-for-0 exchange. Huge swing once again, now going the way of NEXT.kz.
That was a really risky initiation. You see the pings right now? He's saying that we just warded, we sentryed here. Like, we knew they had an observer. We knew the smoke was about to wear off. It was a very awkward angle of attack, and they still tried to force the issue. So, VP exchanging some words. And I mean,
the word that comes to mind for me is Virtus throw.
Oh, jeez.
That's awful, but that was just... They don't need to be that bold. I mean, they have the Faceless Void. It's so hard for NEXT.kz to press up and break the base against the Void. When you get aggressive like that, now NEXT.kz have an easy opportunity to force out the Glyph. They'll grab this Tier 2 tower, and...
That's also just a very awkward angle of attack, coming around this cliff and then wrapping through the trees here, because there's so many good places to fall back to, like up this hill, as well as up towards the Ancients, and they're diving NS bottom. Not going to go for him yet.
They'll get 2 Tier 2 towers out of it. And BKB from Equal already on. He'll go for Mantis, who was trying to port out, but the Yules from a Stallcat around the side. That buys Mantis the time he needs to leap back to safety.
Where's the BKB from Illidan? He just gets Yules in his own Chrono. Not prepared for that. Equal might die, though. He will fall to the Meteor. That's still a good kill in the end. Shadow Shaman, but they get the TA. That is well worth it. Mid lane, meanwhile, Nyx is going in. He doesn't have a gem. Is there a Sunstrike ready? Yeah, I think there might be. No, he gets gripped from high ground.
Oh, man, that Bane. Right place, right time. Sunstrike flies, but doesn't connect with Mantis. It ends up being a 1-for-2 across the map. This next assassin just can't catch a break.
Ever since they got the gem, he's just been running in and feeding.
Yeah.
It's just been brutal for him, so...
Yeah, he's down to 5, 7, and 6, so he has definitely died quite a few times. But
that was the one thing that was turning the game for VP, was the Nyx ganks into the Sunstrikes. And with the gem, the double gem, good luck.
Illidan just getting a little too greedy there, trying to save the extra duration on his BKB, and I can't say that I blame him, but he was just not prepared for that Yule's Scepter whatsoever. Now he'll hop forward onto the Bane. This time he'll burn the BKB.
Sweet vengeance.
So yeah, he'll dish it out, and the Sunstrike helping him out a little bit. But the scary item is now on Mirana. There's that MKB, and she has transitioned into, she hits a little hard to watch out for that Mirana because her arrows hurt. Piercing armor.
Yeah, and she does a lot of damage. And, well, there's still backtrack to worry about. MKB only going to help you against regular evasion, but it's just a good general damage item. A lot of Voids like to go Battle Fury, so I think it's... Or, no, sorry, not Battle Fury, Butterfly. But it's still a pretty good choice. Fairly cost-efficient damage as well, and they're running a dual core. And now TA's very farmed. Picks up the Daedalus, already had the Desolator.
And a blink on Bane.
Now you've got a Chrono, both of them almost. I guess they do have a Hex on G, but their lineup is very dependent on Chrono because they don't have too much other just like damage dealing. And the Void, as soon as his BKB ends, is just going to be locked down. They'll lasso him, they'll grip him, they'll enfeeble him, they'll Yules him, they'll sleep him. They have so many ways to kite the Void when he doesn't have BKB and Chrono up. So he's got to hit good ones.
Yep, and he'll burn one here for solo Mantis. Does he have the damage to take him down? Yeah, no, he doesn't. And he'll get gripped through BKB, and TA just critting so hard.
That's the Aegis. He's just throwing it away. The team is nowhere near him. They're like, what the hell are you doing, man? Now he gets lassoed. Illidan has just cost his team a huge advantage. That's a Virtus throw.
Yeah. The game was good, as Roland likes to say. I just... Why? I mean, if his team was with him there and they wanted to commit to that kill, that's one thing. But he was literally by himself. Like, out of the Roche pit, Void went this way, the rest of his team went this way, and of course, Nyx Assassin will pick off the Mirana while I'm drawing on the map here, but he literally went by himself, and now Nyx, he'll pay for that gank. He does get the kill on Mirana, and worth it for the domination streak ending.
Oh, he blinks out over the Shiva's trying to follow him. In-chat personnel coming in as well.
Nice
Still searching
impale.
for ars-art, heads to the south side, but they're going to find him here with a nice Vortex the Yules. They'll isolate him. Can he blink out again? Blink. No, still cooling down. So many carapaces, so many stuns. Not enough in the end, though.
Waste some of their time, but still. A 1 for 2 at the end of the day, and just not far from ideal for Virtus.
The main, like, the Void dies, the Mirana dies. Sure, you trade the carries, but they throw away in Aegis, so that is still a big, even with that trade, it's still a big win.
A fresh Aegis as well. I mean, he had it for no more than, like, 30 seconds.
Maybe it's just burning a hole and had to make room for other items, I suppose.
Yeah.
Though he doesn't. He's very poor.
He's only got 1,200 gold, so I don't know what you're going to pick up from that.
This Void has 146 CS. Mjolnir's a decent farming item. It's not the best. Doesn't really help you farming Ancients too much, and whereas like a Battle Fury build would give you a little more efficiency there. And doesn't have a Midas either. So he went for more of a fighter build, which is fine. I think their lineup's well equipped to fight, but he's just got to choose his fights more wisely. And been a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, and now looking at the gold graph, wow, we may actually see double peaks this game, LD. It's been all over the place. Virtus Pro were leading by as much as like 7,000, but now they're trailing by about 4,000, and a 7,500 experience back the way of NEXT.kz. So
I love seeing a graph like this because it means one of two things. Oh, actually one of three things. Korean Dota, Pinoy Dota, or Russian Dota.
I mean, it's pretty true.
And I say this as in all good fun as someone who loves all three scenes, but yeah, this is one of those back and forth games that it's such a pleasure to catch. Sure, it's sloppy, it's silly, but it's fun.
Much different from that Eastern meta I've been casting the past couple of weeks. So
yeah, this is not like WPC Chinese Dota.
The complete opposite of like NE versus DT or something.
It's like you get a little tired of how just patient and deliberate they are. You're like, yeah, I want to watch some CS Dota. Then you see some crazy aggression. Now, this is not all CIS teams. We're stereotyping, of course. Like Empire is very deliberate, but they don't fall into that vein. But there are some teams that fit the mold.
That's for sure. So Virtus Pro, though, they still have that defender's advantage with that Chronosphere. That's kind of one of the ultimate turtle abilities that makes things for NEXT.kz so difficult. But
yeah, they're strongest defending the high ground.
Yeah, but Virtus Pro have been so aggressive that NEXT.kz have really not had a problem finding fights
outside.
outside.
Is YOLOing everywhere. Rox right up the hill, gets BKB initiated on by Equal, and
wow, he survives with 27 hit points to spare. JOTM still falls thanks to the Fiend script, but and they find a return kill.
He's sticking around like he wants to. He's got no HP. He's got it back.
Yeah, he throws out the Chronosphere. NS takes an arrow, and AA will survive because of the spiked Carapace. NS, oh, wow, that Ghost Scepter just barely buying him enough, but Batrider finishes them off with Flames. And Rost Award's wasted once again. They'll just get cleaned up by Mantis. And he'll get a nice 300 gold going his way or so. He'll share it with Equal.
I gotta say, Illidan has been dragging his team into some truly awful engagements this game. That was just... That might be the straw that broke the camel's back. They still have Mirana and TA alive. There's no Chronosphere online for 43 seconds. How in the world are VP going to defend this one? They got the Aegis earlier. They were looking to be in a decent position to just turtle it up, farm a 5/6 slotted Void, maybe get an Aghanim Scepter, a Refresher.
That's Cheese Glyph. One of them's already been burned.
They need a great just stalling tactic here. Keep on finding pickoffs. This is not going to help, though. ars-art waddles in from the backside, and it's his turn to die. And they might be done.
Yeah.
No Chrono, still for 15 seconds.
They have more than enough time to kill the Rax. This won't be the game-ending push, but it could transcend into that game-ending team fight if this
It's
Chrono
one
goes
more
out on
bad
money.
fight, and VP have lost, pretty much.
And
if they haven't already.
Maybe they'll just rotate to the top lane. With Nyx down for 50 seconds, they've got an easy 5v4 on the field, and everyone is pretty much topped off. The only thing they don't have right now is Fiend's Grip. Lasso also on cooldown, but another great Yules on Illidan. After the Chrono comes out, he'll still secure the kill on Bane. Now pops the BKB. After the Yules is done, he'll turn on to Equal, who gets shackled up. No refraction coming out, and that'll be a dead TA. So NEXT.kz overcommit once again. Virtus Pro clean things up. 4 steps forward. Hex onto pranks and jokes. The joke's on you, Ancient Apparition. Or is it? He'll turn, throws the Ice Blast, arrow coming in, NS will shatter here. That's something. They find a recovery kill, makes it a 3 for 2.
Still, they do defend the second lane of Rax, but Now they're still one bad fight away from losing the game. Yep. Nice defense by VP, but it's like, why weren't they just doing that earlier? Just use the Chronosphere with your team when they're ready to fight. And once again, when Illidan goes in, he's got a BKB before he Chronos. This is like the 3rd or 4th time that he's just gotten Yulesed immediately. So
yep.
I don't know how many recorded games he has on the Void, but he just doesn't seem overly comfortable with, at least with like the initiation. The team is not in sync.
He's just so
It's easy to blame Illidan. Maybe the team's not communicating well with him, but something is going on with their communication. That is for sure.
It's probably a factor of both. It seems like the team is in a little bit of disarray, but he's just been so greedy with his BKB. It's like he wants to get off these chronos without using the BKB, but that's what you got it for. It's so that you don't have to catch everyone in the chrono, and you can still go ham on whatever target
it is that you want. They've seen the courier. Can he jump it? They have an observer ward here. They saw it going to the secret shop. Oh, if they could kill it now, it would be a big kill. I think it's too late.
Hyperstone. Yeah, he'll look for it, but yeah, waits too long after farming the Ancients. So, but yeah, he's just been so greedy with his BKB. I think he can be a little more liberal and just pop it as soon as the chrono comes out. It's at least twice we've seen the Batrider do that, if not 3 times now.
It's also, like, I can somewhat understand that with a 10-second charge. It's a 5-second charge right now, so, like, what are you saving it for? Just use it.
Yeah, completely agreed. Nyx Assassin just committed to this Dagon, though. It's now level 4, so he'll get some extra stats and a giant laser onto the field. Invoker with 6,000 gold has the Scythe of Ice, now a Ghost Scepter. I wonder if that's just a casual Ghost Scepter.
Very good against the TA and the Mirana. Maybe even one of them consider it Diffusal Blade. Because right now, most of NEXT.kz's damage is physical. I'd say, like... Well, Ancient Apparition he's level 16, doesn't have an Ags. I'd say at least like 70% is physical.
That answers my question about the Invoker. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, Illidan gets caught once again. Rostam wards come down to try and turn the fight, but they just have too much damage. Faceless Void, the first to fall. NS now on the run. Moonlight Shadow's on. They're in hot pursuit. There's your Yules. Firefly on the low ground. AA hops forward to try and save his buddy. No man left behind, but... Well, maybe they'll find a counter kill on the Ancient Apparition. No, a few hit points to spare. Yeah, Shadow Shaman finishes him off.
Buyback from the Void. He does have Chronosphere, and he's coming back in.
He catches Stallcat as well as Mantis. NS outside of the sphere. Batrider will fall. He does use Shackles onto Equal, but there's the Fiend's Grip onto Void. They should have enough damage to bring him down, especially if Equal pops out of chicken form. Well, he won't come out of chicken, but they'll still kill him. That's a dieback for the Void, down for 100 seconds. Buyback now on the Batrider. This could be our final team fight. God put into Nightmare. Is the follow-up here? Yes, it is. Stallcat rejoins the party. He might be late, but he's brought the booze. They're ready to make it happen on the God, and they take him out as Bane blinks forward and hits him with one more brain sap.
This is probably going to be it. Maybe they back off. They are somewhat low. Mantis is actually extremely low. How many buybacks they have? Mirana has buyback. I think she can get Boots of Travel as well. They're just trying to stall mid. Oh, are they going for more kills here? In comes the Batrider. Does have a Shiva's Guard coin down to sleep into Arrow. This could be the death throws for VP. They might be starting off 0-3 in the Summit EU. NS dropping low. Overrun, but does get off of Shackles for now. Will he tick down? Yes, he falls. Now G. Next on the agenda, he'll retreat into the pit. Flame Break pushes him back. No, the sleep's going to cause it not to connect. And he does get a kill. They could just be killing Rax right now. One hero's got the right idea. It's pranks and jokes on the Ancient Apparition. He's wailing away on the Rex, but he doesn't have the damage.
Yep. And heroes in the well, they'll shatter. Nyx falls. God, if he takes a little more damage, he'll probably shatter here as well. Stallcat hops forward, and he does secure it. There's the GG. They're out of buybacks.
Team wiped in the well.
And yeah, Ancient Apparition makes it a little bit easier, to be fair. But yeah, still, the sentiment is there. Rubbing a little bit of salt in that wound as they go out.
What's going on with Illidan, man?
It's a good question. I don't have the answer, but questionable decision-making on that Void at a few points throughout that game. Even just the opening build, he was Brown Boots into Mask of Madness. You think that game would have been different if he had gone for more of a farming tool to get things started, like a Midas or a Battle Fury? Or was the fighting build kind of important?
I think it worked out pretty well. They needed the damage, and it allowed them to get some kills they wouldn't have otherwise. But, I mean, the real problem was just his decision-making in the mid-game. Like,
some of those YOLO time walks.
There were so many YOLO moments. Like, he's just walking up cliffs by himself. He's not using BKB when he jumps in with the Chronosphere. He just got an Aegis and just ran in by himself, tried to solo kill a hero. It wasn't a farm, though. He had Mjolnir, Mask of Madness, and Treads. That's pretty much it. And BKB, which doesn't give you that much damage. It's not like he had Butterfly, Daedalus, MKB. It was not like a 6-slotted Void. He's not that quick to kill. And man, it wasn't all on him. The whole team kind of felt like they were feeding into the momentum of the game and all making mistakes. But geez, I'd be frustrated after that one.
Yeah, I mean, even their draft, as we talked about in the earlier stages of that game, Shadow Shaman, Faceless Void, and Shadow Demon is kind of an awkward tri-lane. And it's awkward for good reason. There's just not a lot of synergy between those heroes, and their laning phase to get things started was a little rocky. They had to pull a lot of rotations, and they were slow getting out of the gate.
I actually do go back to the draft and say I'm surprised it was that close. VP's lanes were extremely awkward, but the thing was, like, sure, the lanes were weird. Maybe they shouldn't have done as well as they did, but they were there, and they could have just won the game if they had played it outright.
Yeah, they definitely were hyper aggressive in that mid game, and then
the other thing was that wraparound when they came through the Radiant bottom lane and they wrapped around the big hill and headed towards mid.
Yep.
They sentryed. They saw that there was an observer ward on the high ground, and they still went in. Like NS still went in. The smoke wore off. It was spotted out right as he jumped in, and their angle of attack was extremely awkward. That was a team fail. So you can't blame the whole game on Illidan. Maybe he made the biggest mistakes, but the whole team just
that was just
a mess right now.
Error in decision making for sure. Even if that wasn't revealed with that ward, that was still a pretty risky engagement to take. The positioning, as you mentioned, and the way they were in the tree is just not an easy way to kind of catch the opponents off guard. So
now
Virtus,
they're 0-3 now.
They're in trouble.
And they've got tough opponents to play. They have to play rox.kis. They have to play Fnatic.
And Power Rangers coming up, I think. So
they might even end up in the bottom 2 or 3.
Yeah, sorry Virtus Pro, but what are you going to do? What's coming up next, LD? What do we have next on the docket? We've got 2 best of 1s to go.
I think we have a bit of a break.
Oh,
so
we do here.
Don't get too hyper. We have we have about 45 minutes, and then it's Dog versus MYM. So 30 or like 40 minutes or so.
40 minutes here. So all right, we'll have a little breaky poo, and then Dog MYM. Then after that, it will be MYM versus Relax.
And then after that, in the studio.
Oh yeah, I forgot about in the studio.
So we've got a long day today. And thanks for joining us for
Only about halfway there. So we'll have a break, guys. Make sure you come on back in just about 40 minutes or so for more Dota 2 action here on